Continuing with our video sessions, in this video, that is Principles of Management Part 2, we'll be continuing with the introduction of management. Previous video we have seen the definition, and in this video we will proceed further. The evolution of management concept will be covered in a later video. In this video we'll just go into the meaning of management and nature of management. So after having analyzed the definitions, we come to the conclusion that the primary function of management is to get people to work together, and the work has to be done efficiently and effectively. Efficiently means doing the right thing, effectively means doing the things in a right way. The purpose of doing all this work together is for attaining the organizational's goals and objectives. And the need for management arises primarily because the resources that have at the disposal of the organization are all finite. Okay, the resources are not unlimited, they are very much limited, they are also costly, and therefore the resources have to be allocated judiciously in a proper way. So that has to be done by the management. Now we have to remember that the resources can be of different types. The resources can be categorized generally into some broad categories like human resource, the financial resource, the technological resource, the natural resources, basically like men, money, material, machine, land, time, effort, the thought process or creativity also. These are some of the basic resources that are required for functioning of the business, and management deals with all these resources. And the primary functions of management are planning, organizing, staffing, leading, directing, controlling. But the syllabus primarily we focus on planning, organizing, directing and controlling. Staffing will be covered under a separate entire subject, that is human resource management, later on. Leading will be covered in a separate subject, that is organizational behavior. Planning, organizing, directing and controlling would be part of the syllabus of PPM, that is Principles and Practice of Management. Now today's main focus area is on the nature of management. So this can also be called as the characteristic features of management. Okay, so looking at the nature of management, we can easily tell that management is useful in all the activities, that it is universally applicable. In whatever tasks people do, management can be adopted, whether it is business or whether it is not profit oriented activities, or whether it is sports, or whether even if it is our studies and day to day living at home. Everywhere management is a very, very helpful tool, because everywhere the resources are limited and efficiency and effectiveness are very much essential in all the tasks that we do. Another nature is that management is a purposeful activity which is taken up to attain some predetermined goal, that is, it is goal oriented. People do it on purpose. They have a goal, and to reach the goal they take up different tasks. They collect all the required resources, they put the resources into use, and through some process, using the available inputs, they get the desired outputs so that they reach the desired goal. And then management is also a social process. We call it a social process. Also sometimes it is known as group process, because it involves people. We have to take people along with us, because every work that has to be implemented needs the assistance of people. At least the thought behind is from the people. If the physical work activity can be done by robots or machines, it doesn't mean that people can be neglected. People are required. They are the idea behind the process, and in many organizations, even with so much of technology, people cannot be disposed. We have to depend on people for our work. So it becomes a social process. Interaction among people, how people interact, how to ensure that there is coordination and cooperation among people. This becomes an integral activity in management. So nature of management is social process. Then it is also a coordinating force, because what it does is it links the various activities in the organization. Like in the further classes we'll be looking at the different areas, functional areas of management, that is production, marketing, HR, finance, etc. So there has to be coordination between various departments. So this is achieved by management. And then management, what activities are taken up cannot be seen. Therefore it is also said that management is intangible. We can only observe, feel that what is happening, but what the process exactly is cannot be seen. We can see people in action, we can see things happening there, but what is that management? It cannot be seen. It can only be understood. Then it is always a big question whether management is a science or an art. Actually it is both. It is an art as well as a science. It is a science because in some aspects there is cause and effect relationship, and that becomes a science. And it is also an art because in some places it depends on how person executes the skill and knowledge that he has. So just say, for example, selling is an art. Selling is not a science. How you convince people is an art. It is not a science. But how you account the money is a science. Say for example you are selling 10 pieces each at 10 rupees, then it becomes science. The total will be 100 rupees. There is no art involved in that. But how do you convince a person who has come to buy one piece to purchase 2 pieces or 3 pieces? That is an art. So management is both a science as well as a art. And management is a continuous process. There is no end to management. Even if it is business or any other activity, management is a continuous process. The resources are there, the resources have to be managed, and there is no end to the objectives also. Success, like they say, is a journey, not a destination. So even in business, there is no end to the business organization. The business organization will attain its present desired goals, and then it will set next desired goals, and continuously work has to keep on progressing. Therefore it is a continuous process. And then management, how you manage something and how somebody else would manage the same situation, same resource, depends on the person. Therefore it is a relative concept. We cannot say that everybody should do only this way or this is the only right way, is not the answer. Okay, say for example, if some target is given to a person that he has to sell 10 cars in a month, there may be one person who feels, let me sell 1 car each to different people, and there may be another person who may think, I'll find a person who can buy 10 cars. Maybe a person who can start a taxi service. Approach is different. Okay, so it is a relative concept. Whatever activities we do, okay, the way, let us say, even as an example, the way you study and prepare for the examination may be different from how your friend studies and prepares for the examination. So it is a relative concept. It is not a subjective concept it is a subjective concept. It is not a concept which can be fixed that you have to do like this only. This is the only way. It is not a objective concept. It is a subjective or relative concept. And then it is a dynamic process also, because there is always change. What you are managing today, the resources may change, the situations may change, the technology changes, and therefore management becomes a dynamic process. It is also a multidisciplinary process, considering that management uses knowledge from several subjects. Like for example, the entire purpose of management is to get the things done, but we absorb knowledge from various subjects, like psychology has its application here, politics has its application here, accounting has its application here, law has its application. It is considered as a multidisciplinary subject primarily because it absorbs from various subjects. Like for example, it absorbs from accounting, it absorbs from organizational behavior, it absorbs from psychology, it absorbs from politics, it takes into consideration commerce, law. You name any subject, maybe even technological subjects like production and operations management, statistics is there. So every subject, if it can be used for commercial benefits, will be part of management, and therefore management is also considered as a multidisciplinary subject. Then it is also a profession today. That is, based on your qualification, you can get membership for particular associations and you can be a management practitioner. Today there are several people who act as management consultants. So it has become a profession too. So this can be summarized as the nature of management. You can just briefly mention that management is universal, management is goal oriented, management is a social process, management is a coordinating force, management is tangible, management is both art as well as science, management is a continuous process, management is a relative concept, management is a dynamic process, management is multidisciplinary, and management is a profession. So with this we come to the end of this particular small video. Hope you have understood it. For any further information or any doubts in this topic, you can please get in touch with us. Thank you.